after a couple of hours, here I am, and I want to talk to you about something that many people really don't remember that is really useful and possible with Python, which is creating user interfaces. So how many people here, just to play around with hands, has never seen a Qt application? A couple of hands. And what if I start to drop names like Mathematica or VLC or KDE or all, like, for example, TeamViewer? Maybe the hands start to decrease or something. And also, like, you have at the PyCon, there were a couple of companies there using it for internal toolings, like Dropbox, for example, were saying that they were using Qt. And also, you have this nice car called Tesla that also runs Qt in the amazing computer that they have as well. Pretty sure that if you didn't know that you knew Qt, you are. So let's go. First point, really important. It's called Qt. I know that we have this kind of difference sometimes between Europe and the US, and in Europe we said Qt, and here we say Qt. It's Qt. And it's a cross-platform C++ framework. So this means that it works on Mac OS, Windows, Linux, embedded system, mobile, everything. And we are kind of like growing to many other aspects. At the moment, we are kind of focusing on microcontrollers, automotive, IoT, et cetera, et cetera. So, but what about Python? So who here has written some C code in the past? So no C? OK, cool. So who can answer what that code does? Yeah, C is complicated, right? I mean, so, OK, but this is just a little bit of a joke because it's a hello world. But it's just obfuscation, right? But Qt is not C, it's C++. And C++ is really beautiful and simple to understand. So everyone can understand what is happening there, right? As long as you are not doing metaprogramming to try to get some weird compile time if things. And also C++ kind of get complicated. So the C++ people has this framework called Qt, and they offer many things that we have for granted in the Python community, like amazing containers to handle and move around data and stuff. So we decided to bring all this amazing framework from C++ to Python. So officially now, since last year, we released the first release from the Qt for Python, which is the name of the project, that includes the PySide2 module, which is the name of just the bindings that we have. So a little bit about the story about this is that all these efforts started in 2008. And then there were some really smart people in Brazil doing the first set of bindings there. So after a while, the Qt was evolving, and there was some effort until 2015. Well, there was the newest version of Qt was also ported to this module, and the name changed to PySide2. Yeah, a little bit confusing, but just bear with me. So in 2016, we got an amazing email and saying that these Python bindings were officially now supported by the Qt project. So it was one member more of the family. And as I said, last year, we released the first version. So how do we do it? So this is a monster C++ framework, really large, and to be able to do many things. So what do we need to do with this? If you're experienced with the bindings, is we need to take this information from the Qt headers and try to process it smartly enough with some binding generator and generate some C Python code that can later be interpreted as a Python module. So long story short, we compile some stuff into some .so or DLLs, and then we expose it to Python. Sounds simple, but it's a bit tricky, but we managed to do it. So how does it look like? So how do you build a user interface with Python? It's really complicated. No, it's not. It's just that. For example, this is the simplest example that you can get, which is just a simple label saying hello world. And then the only things that you need to take into account there is that you will need an instance of an application that you can see there, and also executing the application at the end. So nothing else, really simple. So how does Qt play with Python? So first, we need to install it. So it's just a Python module. So nothing too complicated at that. So you set up your virtual environment, pip install, and then you're all set. You can start to write your own applications. So let's take a look at some examples. So the first one that we were showing was this one. Really simple, nothing too tricky. I hope that everyone can read the font size. So let's execute it. So here you have a really ugly application with just some small text on it, because of course we need to customize everything, right? So let's take a look at other things that are had some more love in it. So first of all, let me check this one that is one of my favorites, because as you can see here, this is a browser. You just build the browser, and I will show you the code, and I will just sum out a little bit just to give you an idea that how smaller it is. So that's the code for building a browser. Of course, minimum functionalities like a back and forward and writing some URL. So if you are tired of using any browser, you can just go there and write your own, right? So what about all the topics? So it's also really interesting to have simple things like, for example, internal tooling is really strong with Qt. So if you have a complicated application to manage your expenses, for example, you can write something like, so it's here. So something like this. So you have some lists. Sorry, I think the font is not visible, but here's a list of items with some quantities, whatever you can do, and plot data, and then you have your amazing application there for 1 million star on GitHub. So also about data visualization, there is a special modules that you can use from Qt, for example, Qt charts. Also, you can use Matplotlib and all the other amazing things that are out there. So let's take a look, for example, this one. So then you have, I don't know, maybe you are tired of using many Excel spreadsheets, and then you have, or maybe other like applications, and you want to write your own application. You also can do it and handle data on tables, plot, whatever you want. So in more sophisticated thing regarding to charts, you can have things like this one. So for example, here you have different type of charts, and you can play around with all, animations and putting legends and stuff. So pretty neat. So what else? If you feel fancy and you really like, for example, material design from Google, you also kind of use a different language that we have at Qt called QML, and you can write really nice applications with a material design look. So then you have, of course, control everything that is happening there with some simple text and just playing around with some options. Also, you can get it. And for other more complicated things, also you can play around with 3D. And this was personally using during some studies, and then I wanted to visualize some particle evolution. And then you can include easily some OpenGL widget there and do whatever you want, like doing some zoom or all the functionalities that you have there. So what else can I show you? Well, there are many other things around, but all these examples that I just showed you are inside the website. They will be at the end of so you can, if you want to check it out later. So what is next? At the moment, we are building mainly desktop applications, but we are really looking for real use cases. So if you have any question, maybe afterwards you can reach me out and we can discuss about the possibilities of building something together. I don't know. And at the moment, we are working with a better integration with a non-focus project in the sense of like, if you want to visualize a pandas data frame or a tensor from TensorFlow, whatever, easily with some plots or data, or some table and stuff, we are working on that. Also some kind of like special widgets for displaying information really fast. The next step for this project is to have some support for embedded systems, so we can be in some microcontrollers with, for example, MicroPython or something like this. Then mobile, and of course, improving some, we have our own IDE, which is mainly for C++, now has some Python support, which is called Qt Creator, and so on and so forth. So it's really important at the moment that this is an open source project. We are backed by the company, but it's an open source project at the end of the day. So if you have any use cases of this, or you really think that maybe your company can use a nice internal tool or something, reach me out and we can discuss about some ideas. So just for give you some release details, sadly it's released with Python 2.7. I hope that nobody here is using 2.7, but sometimes people kind of struggling to move. We support 3.5 onwards, and we are now in the Qt version 5.12. It's, as I said, it's open source, so it's LGPL3, GPL2. And if you have any questions, this is all the information. The main website there is pysci.org that you can check the wiki page and stuff. And since we are in a meetup, just wanted to, brag of the amazing community that we have in Berlin. So if at some point you visit Berlin, maybe you want to give it a try to this amazing group, Python User Berlin, PyData Berlin, and also PyLadies. So if you have other Python communities here, remember to support them. Maybe being a helper or giving a talk.